day, everyone. My name is Ignacio P. de Guzman III, and I would like to present to you my portfolio Part 3 in this particular subject, Philosophical and Socio-Anthropological Foundations of PE and Sports. Today, we will be dealing with the different sports from Asia, including one of individual, dual, and team sport. Under individual sport, we have the archery. Archery is the practice of using a bow to shoot arrows. It has been historically used in hunting and combat and has now become a precision sport. The earliest evidence of this particular sport dates back from China to the Shang Dynasty, 1766 to 1027 BC. A war chariot of that time carried a 3-man team, a driver, a lancer, and an archer. During the Zhou Dynasty that followed 1027 to 256 BC, nobles at court attended archery tournaments that were accompanied by music and interspersed with entertainment. It became an official Olympic event in 1972. The equipment of archery are: number 1, longbow. A longbow is a type of bow that is tall, roughly equal to or greater than the height of a person. It's not significantly recurved and has relatively narrow limbs that are circular or D-shaped in cross-section. It has been used for hunting and warfare by many cultures around the world. Number 2, shortbow. A shortbow is a smaller version of the longbow. While it is lighter and more maneuverable, it can be drawn less far. Therefore, store less energy and hence has a shorter maximum range. Short bows were used for hunting by, among others, many West Coast American tribes. Number 3, recurve bow. A recurve bow has ends of the limbs curved forward slightly, which increases the power gain from the bow and smoothens the draw. It is the only class of bow that is shot at the Olympic Games. Number 4, compound bow. A compound bow is a modern bow that uses a levering system of cables and usually comes and pulleys to draw the limbs back. In the United States, it is the dominant form of bow. Number 5, crossbow. A crossbow is a variation on the general bow design. Instead of the limbs being held vertically, they are mounted horizontally on a stack much like that of a rifle. Number 6, arrow. A normal arrow consists of shaft with an arrowhead attached to the front end, with flat chains and a knob at the other. Flat chains are found at the back of the arrow and provide a small amount of drag used to stabilize the flight of the arrow. Shafts are usually made of solid wood, fiberglass, aluminum alloy, or carbon fiber. The knob serves to keep the arrow in place on the string as the bow is being drawn. Number 7, arm guard. Protects the inside of the bow arm. Number 8, quiver. Used to hold arrows. And number 9, target. Is the something to aim at. Can be a hay bale, styrofoam target, animal model. At the Olympic Games, archers shoot a target 70 meters away. The target is 1.22 meters in diameter and marked with 10 concentric rings. Individual archers compete in head-to-head matches in single elimination after being ranked from 1 to 64 during qualifications. In each contest, both archers shoot 12 arrows and only the winner moves on. Teams are made up of 3 archers, and team events follow the same competition format as individual events. Here are the techniques in archery. Number 1, assume the shooting position. Stand at the right angle to the target with your back foot slightly forward and your feet shoulder width apart. The stance should feel comfortable and balanced. Number 2, knock the arrow. Knock an arrow while pointing and holding the bow in a safe direction, toward the target. The knock of the arrow is placed at the knocking point, which is a crimped brass or rubber ring or a marked area on the bowstring. The knock point hits the knock in the same location on the string every time you shoot. Number 3. Draw and anchor the bow. Grip the bow handle or riser, but don't squeeze it. Present the bow to the target. With your bow arm straight, raise the bow to a point that your arm is parallel to the ground, while simultaneously drawing the string back to your anchor point with your shooting hand. The anchor point is the position where your shooting hand consistently comes to a normal rest on or near your face. To ensure accuracy, make sure your bowstring hand comes to the same point each time you shoot. Number 4. Aim. Instinctively, shoot where you look, or use both sides to help you align your arrow with the target. If you use sides, you must have the proper side picture, the correct alignment of target, front side, and rear side, prior to releasing an arrow. Number 5. Release the string. Once you have the proper side picture, quickly relax your fingers or trigger the mechanical release in a smooth, confident manner. And number 6. Follow through. After releasing the arrow, follow through by focusing on the side picture you saw immediately prior to the shot. Now, under dual sport, we have badminton. Badminton first originated in India, where it was known as Pune. Badminton got the name from the place Badminton House, the hometown of Duke of Beaufort, Gloucestershire, England. In 1860s, the first game of Pune played. In 1878, it was introduced in New York, United States. In 1879, Badminton Association was formed in the New York City. In 1887, the Bath Badminton Club was formed and the rules were formalized and standardized for tournament play. In 1936, the American Badminton Association was formed. And in 1937, first national tournament was held in Chicago. Badminton rules of the game. It is played by 2 or 4 players, either indoors or outdoors. A net is fixed across the middle of the court. Only the serving side can win a point. If the serving side fails to return the shuttlecock, it loses the serve. If the receiving side fails to return the shuttlecock, it loses the point and must receive again. A game is played to 21 points, best of 3. The scoring system are: points are scored only by the serving side. A point is rewarded to the serving side whenever the other side commits a fault. If a fault is committed by the serving side, the server does not score a point and loses the serve. We have here the facilities and equipment of badminton. So here is the full dimension of the court. Number 1. Shuttlecock or bird. A shuttlecock is a high-drag projectile used in the sport of badminton. It has an open, conical shape formed by feathers embedded into a rounded court base. The shuttlecock's shape makes it extremely aerodynamically stable. Number 2. Racket. A racket is a piece of sports equipment which has a handled frame and an open hook where the strings are tightly constructed. Most of the time, these rackets are used for hitting a ball or shuttlecocks in games such as badminton and tennis. A badminton racket must be lightweight and weigh less than 100 grams when used. Number 3. Net. The net is 760 mm in depth and a minimum of 6.1 meters wide. The top of the net from the surface of the court is 1.524 meters at the center of the court and 1.55 meters over the sidelines for doubles. There must be no gaps between the ends of the net and the posts. If necessary, the full depth of the net at the ends is tied to the posts. And number 4. Post. The posts are 1.55 meters high from the surface of the court and remain vertical when the net is strained. The posts are placed on the double sidelines irrespective of whether singles or doubles is played. The posts or supports must not extend into the court beyond the sidelines. And finally, we have here the badminton grips, the forehand and backhand grip. And lastly, from team sport, we have soccer. It is a team sport played between two teams of 11 players each. Players use a spherical ball which is a round, leather-covered, inflated rubber. Bladder 27 to 28 inches in circumference and 397 to 454 grams in weight. The game is played within a clearly defined area on a rectangular grass or artificial turf with a goal in the center of each of the short ends. The objective of the game is to score by driving the ball into the opponent's goal. Records trace the history of soccer back more than 2,000 years ago to ancient China. Greece, Rome, and parts of Central America also claim to have started the sport, but it was England that transitioned soccer, or what the British and many other people around the world call football, into the game we know today. Soccer equipment includes uniform, practice clothes, soccer cleats, shin guards, soccer socks, ball, goalkeeper gloves, water bottle, and gear bag. Of course, we have the court. The rules of soccer. There are 11 players for each team. All players wear shin guards in order to protect their shins. The goalkeeper is the only player who can get the ball with his hands. A goal is scored when the whole of the ball passes over the goal line, between the goal posts and under the crossbar, provided that no fault has been committed previously by the team scoring the goal. The team scoring the greater number of goals during the match is the winner. If both teams are tied at the end of regulation, the match will be recorded as a tie during regular season. In soccer, we have the number 1, penalty kick. Penalty kick is when a player commits any foul within his own penalty box. Number 2, corner kick. Corner kick is when the ball goes out of bounds over the end line and was last touched by the defending team. Number 3, slide tackle. When a defender slides on the ground and kick the ball away from the player. And number 4, cards. Yellow card indicates caution. A player who receives 2 yellow cards is given a red card. Red card, the player must leave the field and he can play the next game. The players are the goalkeeper, left fullback, right fullback, center back, left back, right back, left midfield, right midfield, left forward, center forward, and right forward. Thank you for your time and listening. God bless us all.